so going to be blessed by our next guest, Jude DeSterio from UA Nutrition. He is the co-founder. The UA Nutrition is part of our ministry. They are on our website. This UA Nutrition Services is a 24-hour consultant protocol via email, Skype, and phone. It will assist your needs. There's a consultation tag on the top that if you fill out the questionnaire, it will within 48 hours return some kind of protocol for you to follow. So Moving Mountain Ministry is embracing the importance of many health concerns from chronic illness, neurological conditions, obesity, inflammation, blood sugar, joint inflammation, physical energy, and much more. They will be opening up a facility within the next 8 months, 4 or 5 different locations between Long Island and Brooklyn. And UA Nutrition has a program on the website itself. If you go to purchase anything and put the code MMMY, they will donate 5% of whatever their proceeds are to our ministry, and we're very thankful for that. Oh, it's 10%. Oh, thank you. Correction. Yes. So a little bit about Jude. When my children were first diagnosed with autism, as a mom who've never experienced any type of neurological conditions in my family before, I was panic-stricken and at a loss. And I've been cutting his hair for many years, and during our getting to know you time, he just used to fill me with so much wonderful information about health and well-being. And I reached out and I asked him at one point, is there anything you could do to help me with the children? And he said, but of course, Sally Ann. So I was so blessed to be able to follow his protocol of removing certain things from the children's lives, one thing at a time, over a 3-week period, and journaling. And each time I removed one thing at a time over a period of time and journaled, I saw healing going on in their lives. So every person has a different protocol, but what the children were diagnosed at the time with was allowing me to see change going on, and a reason was in the type of protocol that he had given me, the steps in which I needed to do and take with them as they were in their recovery state. Now, I would never, ever take the healing away from what the Lord has done in their lives through healing. But I can tell you that the Lord blessed me with Jude in my life to help give me the wisdom and the knowledge to follow the protocol that helped them along this journey while they're here. So I'd like to introduce, without further ado, Jude DeSterio from UA Nutrition.
Thank you, everybody. How are we doing tonight? It's a great program here. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you to Sally for getting this all going together. I mean, what amazing energy and what a gift of just being such a blessed human being and just a beautiful soul to be around. I've always enjoyed every second I could get with her. So you guys are all lucky to have her. So just to give you a little background of my life, how I got involved in this, I was fortunate enough to grow up in a natural vitamin store, a natural food store. My family owned a natural pasta company. My great-grandfather started in his backyard in Brooklyn called DeBole's Pasta. And it had an ingredient called Jerusalem artichoke flour. And to me, I was like, I ate a lot of pastas when I was growing up because I'm Italian, desiderio, right? But when I ate this pasta, I didn't get bloated. I didn't get sleepy. I didn't have that crashing effect. So I always noticed that as a kid. And later on, I came on to learn that the Jerusalem artichoke actually balances your blood sugar. And that kind of started my whole, I knew that, I just knew, listen to my body. And it started saying what you put in your body, like Dr. Hyman says. I mean, just the guy is amazing. Everything you put in your body. I talk a lot about sugars, and he talks about the 16 teaspoons of sugar in a bottle of Coke, I think he said, a small bottle. A 2-liter Mountain Dew, which please don't ever drink that stuff. 418 teaspoons of sugar in a 2-liter Mountain Dew. The amount of sugar in our environment. So anyway, the Jerusalem artichoke got my fire going, and I really just I was a kid packing fruits and nuts, and in the store back then, the word organic was so weird. You'd say organic, and people were like, "What's that?" Like now today, it's Walmart's launching a whole line of organics. Gluten free back then. You ate a piece of gluten free cake or something. It was like eating a rock. Now they've got this fantastic tasting stuff that's gluten free. So I mean, it's like all this evolved from way back. These thoughts and these beautiful ideas evolved into such a great chance for us to be healthy. I went on to the University of Delaware to study biochemistry. I was pre-med, so I was gonna be a doctor, and the struggle started in my body. Do I want to go for medicine, or I want to go back to natural? And I, different things happened, and I decided to just finish biochemistry degree, and then I went on to the Clayton School of Natural Medicine for holistic nutrition. So that was a home study course that I did while I was working, and got a lot more education. But what really was the best part was like the interaction Sally and I had, and I've had thousands of those over the last 20 years, and thousands, and just so many people, and a lot of people weren't ready for it, and that's fine. It's all different levels. Some people are ready for a really good multivitamin. Some people are ready for, they have high blood pressure, they're on 6 medicines, and those medicines are all pulling something out of their body. They need to replenish those nutrients. So there's a lot of different levels. It's whatever you're ready for. And what I started doing is working with some great people to open vitamin stores, and I opened a lot of vitamin stores. Helped open Phil's Vitamins in Huntington and Syosset, and I was a part of Value Nutrition, which is inside of Value Drugs down in Huntington Village. So I met a lot of people in this area, and I started really just loved the vitamin industry. My favorite question is, why take vitamins? Does everybody here take some kind of vitamin? And some people take vitamins. Foods are so important. This whole shift back to good, healthy foods is such an important movement. Getting away from the processed, chemically induced products that are just flooding the market is so important. The other side of it is the depletion of our soil. So you got to look at what's going on with our food. Even if you eat 100% organic, you're still missing nutrients or not getting as much. So if you look at 1941 versus 1991, you ate a potato in 1941, and you ate a potato in 1991, and you had almost 50% less magnesium in that potato in 1991. So the problem is, we're supposed to grow crops, we're supposed to reap them, we're supposed to let them sit 7 years. So nature can do it. God and nature can take care of replenishing the soil naturally. And what they started doing is injecting minerals into the soil. That's just like chemicals in food. It's putting a Band-Aid, covering up, and making a shortcut. There's another mineral I love. It's selenium. Selenium is an antioxidant that used to be so plentiful in our foods, and it's almost 60% gone from our food. And selenium in food form, the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, big medical group, right? They did a huge study in the late 70s on this exact selenium that comes out of food, a natural food source of selenium. And it showed a 79% reduction of prostate cancer and a 77% reduction of breast cancer. This was back in the 70s. Why is this not being televised and published and talked about? And that data kind of got pushed down, and this is the type of stuff I want to bring to everybody, and let everybody, through the fortunate that I came across so many great people who've taught me, given me wisdom and given me more knowledge inside. But this is the great stuff that, this probiotic bound selenium you can get in a supplement form now. It's a food selenium in a bottle. And I've seen people, I've seen prostate cancer and breast cancer reduced. I've seen people, all this great stuff can happen. So vitamins, if you look at vitamins, and like I said, there's a food form, and then there's synthetics. Okay, so there's a lot of different vitamins. Vitamins are not all the same. The number one selling multivitamin in the whole market is Centrum. I mean, you probably all have heard of that, right? Owned by Pfizer, pharmaceutical company. There's a problem there. There's good and bad to pharmaceuticals, but Centrum is filled with chemicals, filled with coloring agents, dyes, talc. There's preservatives in there. I wouldn't stay away from stay as far away from as possible, yet alone ingest. So the problem is all these chemicals, all this processing, you're not absorbing any vitamins. And the other part to it is the vitamins are actually derived from petroleum or coal tar or even highly processed sugar derivatives. It's not good sources. Petroleum is oil. So these are great facts about stuff that's, unfortunately Pfizer has, not unfortunately, everybody, I love everybody, bless everybody, but they have billions of dollars, so they can do millions and millions of advertising on this one vitamin, and also the drug reps go to the doctors and talk about it. So, and that's fine, but that's one of the things I love talking to people about is just getting onto a more natural form of multivitamin. It's a simple switch. So there's 4 forms of vitamins on the market that you can come across. There's synthetic, pure synthetic chemicals like those. There's natural, which is kind of an iffy. And then there's natural, which is synthetic to mock food, which is a better step. And then you have food-based, which is synthetic to mock food with a little food sprinkled on. It's a better step. Then you have fermented whole foods, which is the closest thing to eating food that you're going to get. This closest thing, one of my favorite products is a product called Turmeric Force. You may have heard of turmeric in the news today, but it's a spice that's been used in India for thousands of years. Safe as can be, but this molecule is this herb is so powerful at anti-inflammation, brain health, reduction of the effects of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, detoxifying your liver. This one spice does so many amazing things, but the problem on the market is you go into stores and there's 50 turmerics. They're not all turmeric, though. Unfortunately, almost all of them are chemically isolated products called curcumin. Okay, some of you may have heard of it, some of you not. But if you look at turmeric, curcumin is 1 out of 236 bioactives or phytonutrients that have effects in our body. So they take that one molecule, they use acetone or hexane to